Welcome to the first episode of Unquestionably Raw Entertainment. I'm your host, Byron Rad Rim, and today we're going to discuss Star Wars Rogue One. Just came out a few days ago. We're really excited about it. We're all Star Wars geeks. On the panel I got Matty Boy, aka Matt. You might recognize him from the Unquestionably Raw Sports basketball show. And we got our really good friend, Joshua J. Will, joining us today. We're happy to have him. So let's go ahead and get right into it. And I'm going to go to Matt first. Matty Boy, tell us, man, what did you not like about the film?
First, let me say, if for everybody watching, we are going to spoil this movie. So if you have not seen it, I advise you to watch this later. I just want to warn you ahead.
Thank you for that disclaimer, Matt.
I had to do that. But as far as dislikes, man, there really wasn't much that didn't work for me in this movie. But there were two. The one thing, and I've seen a couple of, if for those who watch a lot of the movie stuff on YouTube, like Collider videos, they got a lot of people on there. They went to the premiere, but a couple of them said something very interesting, and I agreed with it. The music, it kind of bothered me. They should have just stuck to some of the original themes. The score. That's how. But this is nitpicking. This is how much you can obviously tell I like the movie. I think the new themes they came up for this movie music, it just didn't work for me too much. It didn't have that like epic feel to it, And then second, I think the crawl would have worked in this movie, because I think if you're not a big Star Wars fan, I mean, I could see people going into this movie thinking, well, where's Rey and Finn? They're nowhere to be found. Where's Luke Skywalker? Where are all these characters? Where's Kylo Ren? But they should have given the crawl. And for everybody that might not know, I'm sure if you've seen it and you didn't figure it out, this takes place like right before episode 4, A New Hope. So, and literally in the crawl for A New Hope, you see they kind of explain the story, which is what we got in Rogue One. So I think the crawl would have helped.
Okay. Moving along. Josh, what did you not like about the film?
Well, there was only one thing I kind of didn't like. It was just the beginning. It kind of threw me off. With it when her mother got killed, and when she went under the when she escaped, and she was hiding underground, like we saw the what's his name, Forrest Whitaker,
Saw Gerrera.
Saw Gerrera took her out, but after that, it just jumped to the scene where she was in like some kind of like prison or some cell. So that kind of took me off the loop. Like, what happened? What was the transition there? Like, was she supposed to be trained by this dude or what? So that kind of just threw me out the loop in that scene, because it just there, and then she just wasn't another, like she was like on another planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how they did.
Mm-hmm. And that's why a crawl would have worked a little bit, because there's a kind of a prequel novel out called Catalyst, Rogue One Catalyst. And of course, it takes place before this. Essentially, I didn't read it, but I read kind of the summary on it. Essentially, it talks about Jin's father, like Krennic had like used him. He was, to build these plans, and his and Jin's mom, like they finally figured out what was going on with this Death Star, like that they were gonna use it for bad purposes, and that's why at the beginning of the movie he's off on that farm. He wants nothing to do with it.
Yeah. And that was amazing. Yeah, and I saw him just like, because you can tell, like, it's like what got to me was like, he didn't want to be part of it, right? But it was like, right after that scene, it was like what I'm saying is like it was so much of a gap. Like it just jumped. Like I think what I'm saying is they should have just shown a little scene how she got there in that prison. You know what I'm saying? Like get a little more backdrop. How it happened, you know what I'm saying? It just went just straight there, and like, because for herself, she was just trying to figure out what's going on, even though she was going through the motions of her dreams, having like all these flashbacks. But it was like, but yeah, I mean, I think that's the only neg I had, but everything else was positive, man. It really, I think, I'm gonna just, I just stopped with the neg.
We'll just stop on the neg. Okay, well, for me, I'm gonna have to agree with Matt as far as the crawl because every Star Wars movie has it, and this is the first one that did not have it. And I was like,
Wow.
are they gonna give us some background story? Because every time the opening scenes come in, and it's like when I'm in the theater watching one of these movies, I want to read it out loud. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far, I want to read that. And when that crawl wasn't there, I'm like, so they're not gonna, for those people who are not avid Star Wars fans, are they gonna know? Because this is a movie that you don't have to see any other Star Wars film necessarily to go and enjoy this film.
No,
so that was one of my gripes. And then character development. I'm gonna have to agree with you, Josh. It moved really fast in the beginning, and there were some gaps there. And I think that you have to develop characters for the viewer to build a connection with them and go on a journey with them. So I'm gonna have to agree on that one too. I just think that you have to really fill in the gaps and get people to understand what's happening and what they're going into. So it started off slow in the beginning to me. I nodded off a couple times, but it does pick up. So
which is kind of like what the director of this is, Gareth Edwards, I think. For all those, he did do Godzilla, and Godzilla had that same slow build.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And, and that's not a problem because the way it ended and the way it progressed, it's like I'm not even upset at all. Which brings me to the second question. I wanted to know, what were your thoughts on the characters? I'll start with you again first, Matt. And who was your favorite character?
I actually liked all the characters in this movie. Even though some of them obviously you didn't really get a lot of background, you just got brief stuff on pretty much all of them. But I think that worked. We didn't need to really know a lot about all of them like that because, as everybody knows, everybody dies in the movie basically. They didn't have to really go into all that. Yeah, they didn't have to go into all their backgrounds because we're never going to see these characters again. So it wasn't really a problem that maybe we didn't get a backstory enough on all of them. That wasn't a problem. But I actually really liked the characters. I thought the standouts, there were a couple standouts for me. K2SO, the droid, was funny as hell. Mm-hmm. I thought that character. The droid. He was funny. He wasn't trying to be funny. And he was an Imperial droid that the rebellion took and basically wiped him and reprogrammed him, and that's why he is the way he is now. But I thought he was really added some comedy to this, and it wasn't forced comedy. It really worked. Another standout character, I liked Krennic, essentially the bad guy of this movie. Yes, Darth Vader's in it. We do see Turkin, which we'll get into towards the end of this review. But I thought Krennic was an outstanding bad guy. And that scene where he first meets, where we first see Darth Vader, like you could tell, like Krennic was scared to death. Like you could see it on his eyes and the way he was talking. But he's also there trying to, essentially politic, because as we know, Turkin just goes into he's like, this is my project now. I'm in charge. But Turkin is Darth Vader and the Emperor's boy. So obviously Krennic, there's nothing he can do. And then Darth Vader does the thing where he chokes him and says, "Don't choke on your ambitions." I thought that was a pretty good scene. Maybe a little corny line there by Darth Vader, but it is what it is. And then I really liked. Let me pronounce his name correctly. Donnie Yen's character, Chirrut Imwe, the one he's not a Jedi, but he kind of uses the Force and he's blind. I thought he was a really cool character.
Okay. Josh, tell us your thoughts on the characters and who were some of your favorites?
Well, I think my main favorite was the android. I think he really stole the scenes. Being that they try to make him different than the other androids, like RD2 and all the other guys, he really kind of stand up. He stand out his own with his personality, man. I really think that there was a scene where I really made me laugh when she got on the ship, getting ready to go, and he found out the dude found out she had a gun. It was like he was trying to be honest with her, and like when they got ready to lift off, he was like, like there's like a 93% chance that she's gonna shoot you. Like he was just straight up like tell her she's gonna kill you. Like I think that really stole the moment, or the one scene when they were getting ready to go to the site, and when he told them to wait here, and they were getting like kind of smart with him, and they said, yeah, okay, hold this, and then So I really, really, really the robot or the android itself really brought a great attention to the.
And for those everybody who's seen Dodgeball, the voice of K2SO was the guy who dressed like a pirate in the Dodgeball movie. That was the voice of K2SO.
Well,
oh wow!
Yeah, his name is Alan Tudyk.
Awesome.
Yes.
Anything else, Josh?
No, that's it. I think that was good. But the Asian dude, Yin, he was really, really.
Which one?
The blind one. The blind dude. I really, when he went before, but it was kind of messed up. They blew him up at the end when he was coming out there and blew him up. But I really felt like he really had a heart. Really, really brought the character to tuition. But his combats was crazy. He really had some sick combats. But those are the two, man. Those two really got the pilot. What's his name?
Are you talking about Cassian Andor?
Yeah, he didn't really kind of. I don't know. To me, I think he tried too hard as an actor, but that's my own. I think I just let it just flow with the scene. But that's the only thing, man. The android and the blind dude really got my attention, man. Really, really did.
Cool. Well, for me, this is what I saw. I could tell where certain characters they pulled elements from popular movies in terms of these characters. I think there's elements from that classic film, The Sound of Music, when you see Jen and her dad. Because if you remember The Sound of Music, it's about a family, about a general, and they're trying to basically get him to join the Nazi party, and he doesn't want to. And I see elements of that movie in Rogue One, whereas Jen's dad is like they're trying to get him to go and work for the Empire, but he's pretty he's very unwilling, and you see that where he's basically forced into that, and he's a hero even though he doesn't have that reputation for it. He is a hero, and I like that character because it's a pretty complex character. He wants to protect his wife and his daughter, and he knows how destructive the Empire is, and that the weapon they want him to create and help him create, he knows the damage it can do and how many people it could kill. So you get the feeling that he's initially all for the Empire, but then when he realizes how deep he is into it, he doesn't want to do it, and he's in hiding. So he's very reluctant to build this weapon of mass destruction. So I like that character, and I wish he could have lived a little bit longer in that film. I found him to be very interesting. As the rest of you said, Donnie Yen's character, Chirrut Imwe, I loved it because that was like the Book of Eli. He's blind and he could really kick some behind. He was like Denzel in the Book of Eli, and he was a deep character too. And he represented the a purity and a morality in that film. And it was just like he was kind of like there was a little Obi-Wan Kenobi in him, from what I saw. So I like that character. And then of course my favorite one was definitely the K2SO. I think of all the droids, he's my favorite one. He was he was very funny. I like how he comes in with there's a probability of da 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 da, and just the timing on everything. I really like that character. As far as the main character, Jen, like y'all said earlier, I see comparisons with her and Rey from The Force Awakens. There's definitely like some parallels there. They have a similar, like there's something from their past they're trying to reconnect with, and they're trying to get over, and they're trying to heal from. So I'm pretty satisfied overall with the characters. The pilot, I didn't so much.
Which one are you talking about, Cassian Andor, or are you talking about the Imperial pilot that kind of defects?
The Imperial pilot, not.
Okay. You're talking about Bodhi.
Right. He was a little annoying, but other than that, and so was Forrest Whitaker. He was pretty annoying too. He was just.
You didn't like that voice?
Nah. I wasn't really feeling him. But other than that, I like the characters.
Hey, you know what they've done with The Force Awakens and this one? They've introduced the new droids they're introducing have been standouts. BB-8 and now K2SO.
BB-8 is awesome. I love him.
And they could probably bring K2SO back. If he's really this popular, I wouldn't be surprised, just because he's a droid and they can find a way. It's a movie. His program got uploaded somewhere else. They could bring him back.
Oh, absolutely. That would be dope. I agree. So now, Josh had to leave. He might hop back on. I want to ask you, Maddie. We discussed a lot of this. Like I said earlier, being the Star Wars geeks that we are, where would you rank this film with the other movies, with the other Star Wars films?
As I told you earlier, obviously I got Empire Strikes Back 1, and I've got this one slightly ahead of The Force Awakens.
Let me interject really quickly. Every nerd knows that The Empire Strikes Back is #1, and it's going to be hard to beat that. It's going to be difficult. So if that wasn't your #1, then I was going to have to mute you. But anyways, keep going.
Yeah, I got that number. I got Empire Strikes Back #1.
Okay.
This one's at #2, slightly ahead of The Force Awakens. I know The Force Awakens was kind of very, very many similarities between episode, A New Hope and Force Awakens. But Force Awakens I liked as third. And then I would say, because I saw a little bit of A New Hope and Return of the Jedi last night and today, and I got to say they're kind of neck and neck. I think I would give A New Hope's the slight edge over Return of the Jedi because just the stupid Ewoks, the dumb childish characters.
Now let's be real with ourselves. I had this conversation with some gentlemen from my church earlier this summer. I was at a Star Wars themed party, which was pretty lit for a little kids party, and we were breaking down the movies. Now, as 80s babies, we were big. Me personally, I was a big Ewoks fan as an 80s baby. But as a grown man, it's like, come on, bro. You mean to tell me some little bears in the woods help you beat the Empire with some rocks and some stones and some vines? Come on now. Come on. I'm just saying. But now, even I think they're still adorable bears. They're a little edgy. To me, they're still adorable. As a kid, I was like, wow, Ewoks, they're cool. Probably because they were close to my size. But, I mean, anyways, keep going. I just wanted to put that in there real quick.
Yeah, and then obviously the prequels, I would probably rank the prequels. I'd rank Revenge of the Sith was the best of the 3 prequels, followed by Attack of the Clones. And, I don't know. The thing with The Phantom Menace, I think, while there was a lot of stuff in there that was stupid, what really made that movie, I think, work at the very end was that damn Darth Maul scene at the end. That fight, that lightsaber, that might be the best lightsaber battle we've seen in a Star Wars movie. As much as people hated Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, that last lightsaber thing with battle with Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul was off the chain.
Well, before we move on to Josh, because he's back with us, I just want to say about The Phantom Menace. I really love the Qui-Gon Jinn's character. He should have came back. Liam Neeson, awesome, phenomenal actor. Like, I really love that character. So, Josh, I want to ask you. Matt just gave us his rundown. How do you rank this Rogue One with the rest of the Star Wars films? Where do you rank it?
That's good. I'll put it this way. I put it honestly. I put it number. Let me put my rankings. I put, of course, Force Awakening. I put that as number 1.
Wow. Over the Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah.
Man, I think we're gonna have to mute him, Matt.
Nah, man, I'm not gonna mute him. Hey, it's
Wow.
just your opinion. That's your opinion. Stick with it, Josh. That's your opinion. You don't back down from it.
Okay. All right. And what's number 2? I need to hear this.
Hey, real quick. I'm sticking by Batman versus Superman was a good movie. That's my opinion.
Okay.
So, Josh, you stick with your Force Awakens being number 1.
Okay. I put Force Awakens number 1. Of course, Empire Strikes Back number 2. 6. Star Wars 6. I'm sorry, Star Wars 5. And then 4. And then I put Rogue One after that. So Rogue One will be my 5th. I put Rogue One as number 5. That's my bottom 5.
Okay.
The reason why
he's got Force Awakens and the original trilogy ahead of this one, but you've got this one ahead of the 3 prequels.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have to, no doubt. The reason why I put Rogue One ahead of the prequels was because I believe that the Rogue One was really a fix up for the past 3 prequels. They were terrible. So I think that this was just really trying to put everything back into a package. If that makes sense. Like really, okay, those who are kind of disappointed of some of those prequels, I think Rogue One really kind of just like, okay, let's bring it back into the package to get everybody back on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, like, you got an excellent point. Excellent point there. That's a really good point. Yes. Well, this is how I would rank them. Number 1 is The Empire Strikes Back. I remember watching that for the first time, and it was almost like watching a soap opera. Like, what? That's his dad. Like, I love that movie. I'm probably gonna watch it when we're done with this show. That's how much I love that film. I love the music. I love everything about it. Billy D. Williams as Lando Calrissian. The snow creature in the beginning. Awesome film. That's number 1 for me. Number 2 is probably going to be A New Hope. It started it all. We had never seen anything like it before. I think it's a good film, excellent film. Then I'm gonna have to say The Force Awakens, and then I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Rogue One. Then Return of the Jedi and the prequels. The prequels, I own them, but there was so much potential in those prequels. But the reason why I put Rogue One where I put it is because that film, it has the tone of it is completely different than any of the other movies, and there's no Jedis in it, and you don't have to necessarily see the other films to appreciate this one. I thought it was really good. I like what they did with it. So that's where I rank them. So moving right along from there, Matthew.
Yes.
I want to know, what were your thoughts on Darth Vader in this film and that ending?
Oh, it was fantastic. And it's funny because Byron said the other day, he said, we've never had a movie where they've been able to have with the technology they have with movies where we've actually seen what Darth Vader can really do. And we got to see it in this movie. Like he sends the one dude up with his force thing. He lifts him up. He kind of forgets he's up there. Oh, wait, you're still up there? Slice. He destroyed all these dudes with the quickness. Like, we really got to see the full power of Darth Vader in this movie, which we have not seen before. Just because in the original Star Wars trilogy, they just couldn't do what they can do now with the special effects. And I love how that scene literally leads like right into A New Hope. Like, this takes place like literally minutes before A New Hope starts, which is dope.
Okay. Josh, what were your thoughts on Darth Vader in this film? And then that ending?
Well, okay. Wow. Well, I 100% agree with Matt, man. I think like he said, we didn't know how much with the technology and the graphics we have, especially with the CGI, what we have now, it kind of really exemplify his ability. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think when Hope came out, we just saw Darth Vader, who he is, the dictator, you know what I'm saying? His up and coming rise and everything else. But I think when they introduce him, they really show how much of a comeback he is, to really expound who he is, especially the building up of the character of who he is, trying to expound it, just not see him as that one dude with the voice, right? But they really say, okay, this dude can really kick butt, like, okay, this dude is a serious Jedi,
And they had to do that because of how the opening scene in The Force Awakens, when we see Kylo Ren stop the laser blaster, we'd never seen that before. So they had to you can't have Kylo Ren looking like he's more powerful than Darth Vader.
There's no way. No way. No way. No way. No way. And so that's my love on that, man. I really think they did it, and I love how they really brought I mean, that's not a perfect. There's no other perfect ending like that, right? Just meet Layla and say, here's the map.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you take it down. You know what I'm saying? The Dark Star, and boom, and just jump into episode 4. They really just Stu Slater, and we are like, I was like sharing with Byron. He's like, that tells you, like, after that scene, boom, it tells you, that's she get captured. Now they might. What I'm thinking, this is my just opinion, I think that ending might leave room for another remake.
I don't know if they're gonna do that.
But I mean, or I put it this way: watch that ending, and why they're gonna have to add Han Solo. Han Solo's coming out. There's gonna be a connection with that ending, and they're probably gonna have that ending connect with Han Solo to come into the scene. Like, they're gonna have to. There's gonna be a lot of like. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead of guys, but I think how Leia came to the scene with that ending, when they do that remake when they do the Han Solo, they're gonna show also a connection for him for episode 4 too at the end. So everything's gonna play its part to get into part 5.
Yeah. I see where he's going with it.
Right.
So they cast someone to play Han Solo, but it's a young guy, and at the end they'll show the Harrison Ford with the CGI.
Yeah.
Well,
like boom. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, that's quite interesting. I like how Darth Vader was just a supporting. He had that supporting role. He wasn't, he wasn't the focal point of that movie. But I like how they show clips of him here and there, and this one, and the ending, that was phenomenal. How he came in there, like, I like how he was just twirling the lightsaber and deflecting all of the blaster. All of the ammunition from the blaster, and how he was, like Matthew said, holding guys on the ceiling. But initially, when he was like prepared to land, I said, "There's no way he's landing and going in there to get that information." I was like, "There's absolutely no way he's doing that." And it was like, wow, and it shows you how crazy he really is, and how demented Anakin has become, and that he was really going after it. Another thing that's significant about that last scene is that I like how they covered up when Matthew was talking about the characters too. I wanted to touch on. They don't know that the Death Star has been compromised.
No.
By Jin's dad. So regardless of having that blueprint, that it makes up for it, that they're gonna destroy that thing the exact same way that they did before. And I like that. I love the fact that they did that and they portrayed that. But I really love that. And we kind of touched on the next thing I wanted to say when y'all talked about Leia and the technology. I love how they did that. If I had one more, I wouldn't say complaint, but just one more desire, it would be to see her get captured. But the movie can only be so long. Even if they did it in a closing scene. Like how they do the X-Men, like the bonus feature, like they've done the Marvel films. I think that would have been really, really cool to see. But going back to what you said, Josh, there's no way that they're going to reboot the original Star
They're
Wars.
not rebooting it. Nah, they're not doing
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you right now. It would almost. People would be so outraged, especially Star Wars fans. They would be so outraged. It would be that would be the equivalent of like rebooting a movie like It's a Wonderful Life or
Titanic
or Casablanca or even like Scarface or The Godfather. Is people are so used to Brando and Pacino that they won't accept it. Now I do think that the prequels could be rebooted and rewritten, which brings me to the or I guess we're gonna close it out with this. I want to talk about George Lucas did not like The Force Awakens, but they say he loved Rogue One. I wanna ask y'all what are you expecting from the next Star Wars film in the original series? It should be episode 8, correct?
Yeah, we'll be on episode 8.
What are y'all expecting from episode 8? And what do you think about George Lucas, his him not liking the direction that it took, and what do you also think about it's a pretty loaded question, but what could please George Lucas moving forward? Matthew.
Well, obviously we know the reason he liked this film is because it leads flawlessly, effortlessly into episode 4. He couldn't help but like this movie. And Force Awakens, essentially, I think he thought it was just a carbon copy of his first movie, and that's why he didn't like it. That's my guess. And as far as what we can expect, what I want to see in episode 8, I want to see more Snoke. I want to know more about his character. Who is he? What, is he a Sith? Does he have Sith powers? I want to see Kylo Ren get trained more. Obviously, we all want to see more Luke Skywalker. And I'm also interested in who that Mads Kanata character, how did she get the lightsaber?
Okay.
Yeah.
Josh.
Well, I'm trying to see what your question said. Okay.
The question was, what are you expecting from episode 8? And
why John Lucas?
What do you think about George Lucas? Him not liking the new ones. What can be done that would satisfy him?
Okay. Well, of course, the reason why he loved the Rogue One, of course, it led to his production on episode 4. I mean, that's a clear cut. They didn't take away or add. They just kind of bullet in to get where he needs to be. So that's something he probably would imagine to do if he did a Rogue One. The reason why I believe that the Awakens didn't kind of got his attention. First thing is that of course his hands was not in it, so he probably had a different direction. Plus, you had to also look at it that when it comes to someone who finishing at least 6 episodes, your 6 is like when he made the 6th episode, then his mind was that closure. That's it. He probably didn't see nothing beyond that, even though he gave the rights to Disney. So when you finish 6 episodes or your 6th one, your mind is close to that finishing touch. But when somebody else is trying to expand it more, it kind of he didn't. I don't think he probably understood the ideas like these newcomer directors were trying to, like J.J. Abrams and this guy. They're trying to expand it. So I think that's why he wasn't really kind of pleased, but he has to understand that Star Wars can expound. You know what I'm saying? If Rogue One can expound, how much more these episodes expound itself. You know what I'm saying? I think he has to realize that. What I expect for 8, of course, the young lady. I really want to know her backdrop of really how she got those powers. Like, how did she realize she was a Jedi? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just jumped in the scene where she was like a regular person in the desert and everything else. But I really want to hope they can expound on that. And I'm gonna see her training. I'm gonna see how Luke Skywalker really trained her. And 2, I want to know how Luke Skywalker got there. Like, we know he left 6, but I want to know what happened to him in that span with Luke Skywalker. How how he got to that island. What led to him when I'm trying to look for him. And what else? What else? the other guy, I forgot his name, the young black guy. What's his name?
You talking about Finn?
Finn. Yeah, I really want to know really want to know what Finn. What is it about? Why is he for him to fight? What's his name?
Kylo Ren.
I mean, the way he was doing that, but I mean, really with that aggressive, like really fought him like that. I really want to figure out what is his character. What are they gonna do with his character now? Like, is he a Jedi, or is he gonna be trained, or is this gonna be the episode where we're gonna realize, no, are there one Jedi? Is there two Jedis? Is there multiple Jedis? You know, so that I think that's where I think that's gonna lead to. They're gonna show multiple Jedis. I think, you know, in this scene.
Awesome.
That's
I'm excited about episode 8 as well. I think that from what I hear, it's gonna go in a total different direction, a totally different direction. And I think that I don't want to see even with the prequels, I feel like there were similarities in Attack of the Clones to The Empire Strikes Back, and I don't want to see. Like Matthew said, just another copy of The Empire Strikes Back. I don't want to see somebody getting their hand chopped off at the end of the movie and getting a robotic arm because it's already been done. I want to see, but I do want to see another plot twist like what we saw in Empire Strikes Back that'll really blow our mind and be a surprise to us. That's what I really want to see. A big surprise, a huge plot twist in episode 8, like how we found out in The Empire Strikes Back that Vader was was Luke's dad.
Oh my God!
And that was a big shocker for us, you know, as little kids seeing that for the first time. I want another shocker like that, but it's just in a completely different way, something to blow my mind. And go ahead.
I'm sorry. Can I drop water? I know I don't want to interrupt. I also think Layla's gonna be back. I want to see that later. Leia, her relationship. What's gonna happen with her and her son with Kylo Ren? Is there gonna be a connection there? Like, was she able to finally meet him? You know what I'm saying? I really talked to him, so I want to see that too. So
I think that we have. I don't want to see so much of the old characters anymore. I think we have to let that go because I think there was a bit too much of them in the first movie. I like that Chewbacca is back in it, but I think that they have to bring something new to it. As far as George Lucas, I think that if the movies are different than his movies and they're executed properly and they have a good storyline, he should be satisfied. I don't think he really has too much room to complain about the new films because after all, he did make the prequels. And like I said before, if we're going to reboot anything or remake anything, it should be the prequels. There's no reason why you should have killed Darth Maul in the first film. I wouldn't have even killed.
Hey, you know what though? Darth Maul technically is not dead because, you know, everything is canon now. He's in like the Star Wars Rebels and Clone Wars cartoons, which is actually like these movies it's within the universe. So Darth Maul, essentially, he used the dark side to stay alive, and he's got like mechanical, like torso and legs.
Right,
so he's alive.
I saw that part too. But I would have, me personally, and I don't want to go off on a tangent, but I would have made the prequels more about Obi-Wan Kenobi because we don't see Obi-Wan Kenobi as like, yo, he's bad A. Like it really looks like Anakin is bailing him out, and he's just young, arrogant. I would rewrite the prequels and just make them better. That's me personally. Again, before we leave, we're gonna rank this film. Josh has dropped off again. Matt and I are gonna rank this film on a scale of 1 to 10, and then we're gonna be out. Thank you for joining us, Matthew. Let's hear it. How do you rank this movie? Scale of 1 to 10.
I'm gonna go with a solid 9 out of 10 for me. I've got it ranked number 2, so I got to give it a solid 9 out of 10.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm gonna give it an 8.5, 9. Pretty solid film. I just don't. It started off slow and left some gaps, but it's well worth the money. If you still want to see it after all of these spoilers, we suggest you go check it out and form your own opinion. I'm really looking forward to episode 8 and just the Star Wars universe period. What's going to happen after after episode 9? Where they're going to take it? What they're going to do with it? I wouldn't even mind. I will say this before we leave too. George Lucas is still a genius. For him to even start on episode 4, and so many years later do the prequel, even though I don't feel like it was executed to perfection or as good as it could have been. He still had us on the edge of our seats. He still had us curious for every episode, even though they weren't the best. They weren't the best of films. They could have been better. So I will credit him for that. I wouldn't mind seeing that happen again. You know, after episode 9, they skip and they go back. And I wouldn't mind seeing that. Seeing the story told backwards and or out of sequence, like in a Tarantino fashion, if you would. Again, thanks for joining us for the first episode of Unquestionably Raw Entertainment. Stay tuned to the Twitter. This episode will more than likely be uploaded to iTunes as well. Be sure to check out Unquestionably Raw Sports with Pito, Matt. Shout outs to Gonzo, all the guys, Lance, Mike Skills, all the guys that have ever been a part of our show. We appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. We'll hit you with more movie reviews.
Maybe we'll do Assassin's Creed next weekend.
Right. We'll probably do Assassin's Creed, and who knows, we might do some music reviews. It just have to be a really highly anticipated, really dope album. But be sure to follow us and check for us. Until next time, peace.